Okay. Hello and good morning. I hope you had a beautiful night, and I hope you slept well. Now, like we kept encouraging you from the time the announcement was made to go and register as voters. We are glad some of you registered as voters, and tomorrow we are voting. Just go out, cast your vote, and stay peaceful. Elections come and go, but we still have a country to to look after. Now, that said, somebody asked us to talk about why do boys grow breasts, but we decided to extend the question to include why is it that in some men you will find that some men also uh, have breasts? How come? Now, the condition where boys and men develop breasts, in medical language, it is called gynecomastia. Um, it's not as very common, but it does happen quite a bit. And you will find that boys can have breasts, especially during their puberty. They will develop breasts that are usually very painful, either on one side or both sides. It's quite common among boys when they are going through puberty. You also find breasts in men. Men can also grow large breasts, proper breasts, like the way women have breasts. Now, the question is, why does that happen? How come that happens? So you will find that the reason that happens is because men can also develop hormonal imbalance. The same way women may have hormonal imbalances, men can also develop hormonal imbalance. And this happens usually when there's a tilt in the balance between a hormone called estrogen, which is commonly found in women, but also men have it. So in women, estrogen is much higher. Men also have the same estrogen, but it's less and suppressed. Um, and also you have an imbalance between estrogen and the testosterone, the male hormone. So you will find that during puberty, because of that imbalance in the hormones, as boys are growing and becoming men, they do develop breast tissue. Now, the breast tissue that boys develop during puberty, the one that is actually very painful, it doesn't last long. In most cases, it will go away within 6 months. If it delays, maybe 2 years later, it may go away after that. But otherwise, the breasts that boys develop when they are younger does not require treatment. So there's no need to panic. You just need to reassure the boy child that this is part of the process, that these things do happen, and it's natural, and that the breast the breast will disappear with time, and the child will be okay. Now, there's also, remember that the presence of breasts in men is considered pathological in most cases. And the reason it's considered pathological, and when we say pathological, we are saying that it can be a disease process in itself, or it is part of a disease process. However, in some cases, physiological because there's no disease. For example, I've just explained, like for boys who are undergoing puberty, they will have breasts, and those breasts are not a disease in itself. It is part of the natural events that people go through. It's a natural evolution of events. Now, why would men grow breasts? We just finished talking about boys, but then why would men grow breasts? Now, you will find that you have to distinguish between true breasts and false breasts in men. Now, what we consider false breasts or pseudogynecomastia is where a person is obese, and because they are obese, their chest will have what may appear as breasts, but it's actually not breast. There's no breast tissue there, especially people who are very, very overweight. They might have what appears like breasts, but it's actually not breasts. And that's not the type of breast we're discussing here. We're not talking about pseudogynecomastia or false breasts. We are discussing real, true breasts in a man. That's what we're discussing today. So then what causes real, true breasts in a male person or in a man? How come that happens? How does that come about? Okay, so in most cases, again, like we said earlier, this is an issue of hormonal imbalances. But there are some disease conditions that make the hormonal imbalance more pronounced. There are some medicines that you could be taking that make that hormonal imbalance more pronounced. There are some drugs that you are probably abusing as a man that make that hormonal imbalance more pronounced, and that's how come you have breasts. So let's go through some of these things so that you are aware of them, and you may also, try and avoid where you can. For example, patients who have what we call chronic liver disease. Now, chronic liver disease is very common in Zambia among men who abuse alcohol. So if you abuse alcohol, particularly here in Zambia, you are likely to grow breasts eventually. Now, I know growing up, your mother would tell you, no, don't eat food from the pot because you're a man. If you're not careful, you will grow breasts. No, that's not what we're talking about. That doesn't even cause breasts. You can eat from a pot, and I'm sure you've discovered that you've been eating from a pot directly as a man, and you've not grown breasts. Here we're talking about actual problems that can lead to you forming breasts. For example, chronic liver disease. Now, one of the commonest causes of chronic liver disease in this country is alcohol abuse. So as you drink alcohol, just bear in mind that you don't degenerate into chronic liver disease and grow breasts eventually. Now, these are actually actual real breasts. Okay? They're actual real breasts. The other disease condition that can lead people to develop breasts, which can also potentiate hormonal imbalance, is chronic kidney failure. There are some forms of lung cancer also that can lead to that. And cancer of the testicles, testicular cancer. That is why, you see, sometimes we don't talk much about testicular cancer here, but again, we need to be emphasizing on it as well, especially for men. From time to time, examine your testicles. Make it a habit. From time to time, just examine your testicles, because sometimes you may find that you may have an irregular mass growing on your testicles that needs to be looked at, and the only way you could have seen it would have been if you were in the habit of examining your testicles. And for men, please make it a habit to examine your testicles, because that's one of the ways you can very easily and quickly identify the possibility of whether you're developing testicular cancer or not. Now, testicular cancer can lead to you forming breasts. There are other cancers as well, like cancer of the adrenal glands. Now, the adrenal glands sit on top of the kidneys, and also you have also another gland in the head called the pituitary gland. You may have a cancer there that can also potentiate a man developing breasts. You also have cancers of the thyroid that can cause that. But also remember that even babies, male babies, can be born with breasts. Now, usually when a male baby or even a girl baby is born with breasts, it is because there's a hormone called estrogen, the one we talked about, that crossed the placenta, went into the baby, and formed breasts. You have nothing to worry about. Should your baby have been born with breasts, even producing milk as a baby, don't worry about it. Those things will go away. If you are in doubt, consult your doctor near you. They will guide you and reassure you on what's happening. All right. So, how do you know that you could have gynecomastia or you could have breasts as a man? you will notice that one or two of your breasts is actually growing, literally growing. It actually feels like, the breasts of a woman, and they actually do grow. Now, the biggest question that people ask when it comes to this issue of developing breasts is that, is there a treatment? Now, yes, there is treatment, but also you need to understand that just because you are growing breasts as a man, it does not mean that you have cancer of the breast. That needs to be distinguished. Yes, cancer of the breast in men does happen, but gynecomastia is not cancer of the breast. The two are not synonymous. They are not the same. You can't even use the words interchanging. They are not the same. So, cancer of the breast and gynecomastia are not the same. However, can a man develop breast cancer? Yes, it's very possible. It is rare, but it does happen. Okay. So the other things that can cause enlargement of breasts in men has to do with drugs. There could be some medications that you are on. Some of the medications that we give to treat different diseases may actually lead you to form breasts, especially these long-term treatments like these antipsychotic drugs. Some of them can lead to formation of breasts. So some of the cancer treatments that we give, especially when we are treating prostate cancer, some of the cancer treatment we give to treat prostate cancer can lead to formation of breasts. Especially any drug that you give that can antagonize production of testosterone will lead to formation of breasts. Yeah. So in terms of treatment, generally speaking, treatment is about dealing with the cause. So if somebody has a cancer somewhere, that cancer is sorted out, you'll find that the breasts will also start going back to normal. If it's a drug that you are on that is causing the breasts to form, once that drug is withdrawn, you start find that your breasts will start going back to normal. Under very rare circumstances, you will find that doctors may opt to doing surgery, but surgery is usually a very last resort issue. We don't rush to do surgery. We first of all want to understand why, in your particular case, why are you developing breasts as a man? And once we identify the cause, and the cause is sorted out, you'll find that the breast will also go back to normal, and it will never cause you problems again. Of course, one of the biggest challenges that you will find when a man has developed breasts is basically the social stigma that comes about. Self-awareness, low self-esteem. But otherwise, gynecomastia cannot kill you. It's not dangerous, it's not supposed to kill you, and it will not kill you in itself. However, you need to look into the cause. If the underlying cause is a very serious illness, yeah, then maybe that may be the problem. But otherwise, gynecomastia in and of itself will not kill you. All right? So that said, ladies and gentlemen, we thought we'd answer this very short question on why some men and boys develop breasts, and also to just confirm that yes, it is true, men can also grow breasts, just like a woman. However, in men, it is considered an abnormality, and we have to look for the cause usually. And usually you find that the cause is there and it is treatable. So if you are growing breasts as a man, and here I'm talking about real breasts, not false breasts that you see in people who are overweight and obese. No, not that type of breasts. We're talking about actual real breasts in this conversation. That said, this has been Dr. Mjajati answering a specific question from one of you regarding development of breasts in men. Do have a great morning, and as usual, do the honors, share this video as widely as you can, because we want everyone to have this information so that they're able to make informed choices and timely. I will catch you later in the day. I may come back with another topic, and let's see what happens. I know you suggested a lot of topics yesterday that you wanted us to discuss today. This was one of those that you came from yourselves. There's another interesting topic we might get into. I saw a lot of you wanting us to discuss depression. Let's see if we can prepare for it. Do take care. I'll see you later.